Imagine being in a foreign country, seeing new places and having exciting experiences, learning in and outside of the classroom every day. Sounds like a dream, right?
I had such a great time. I think it was the best my French has ever been.
Now imagine no one understands a word you speak, and you don't understand anything you hear. You spend all your time in a bubble with students from your home country and never really explore the city around you. Not quite as exciting. Hey, I'm Malcolm, a Babbel Live French teacher. Studying abroad is an amazing opportunity, and learning the language of your temporary home can really take your experience to the next level. But how do you do it? Whether you're dreaming of walking the streets of Tokyo or delving into the history of Paris, learning a new language can be tough, especially while juggling school, a job, and social life. But it is doable. If you have the right goals and approach, even a few weeks of prep can make your study abroad experience more special. Stay tuned for my top tips on studying abroad, and make sure to subscribe down here for more videos about language learning. Tip number 1. Fall in love with the culture.
I wish that I had spent more time just listening to French music or watching French TV shows to really understand, the language in an everyday context.
Cultural understanding is not just a bonus, but a fundamental aspect of learning a language for study abroad. Learning about traditions, customs, and social norms can make a huge difference.
Just little things like what time you eat, what you eat, the conversations that you have at the dinner table.
In France, for example, it's often considered impolite to just start speaking to someone without greeting them with a simple bonjour or bonsoir. That little addition to your vocabulary can really change how people respond to you. But beyond being polite, connecting with the culture of your study abroad site is critical for your language goals.
I learned so much more being there, and I felt like integrating into the culture for just 7 weeks. It wasn't very long, but still, it was super impactful and helps with my Spanish a lot.
A motivated learner is a successful learner. If you're going somewhere because you think it's what you're supposed to do, it's going to be tough to stay consistent with language practice. You probably have enough homework already. You don't want to add in learning a language that you don't connect to. But if you can fall in love with some part of the culture, the cuisine, the music, the movies, or literature, it's a great starting point to stay engaged. That connection will also be a valuable resource as you look for ways to continually expose yourself to your target language, which is a critical part of learning. Tip number 2, set smart goals. The right goal can set you up for success. Instead of aiming for one big thing like perfect fluency, which is a hard thing to define, let alone achieve, create a series of clear contextual objectives. That could be as simple as how to order a glass of wine or how to ask for different sizes at a shoe store.
Even if it's not perfect, and you can show that you're making an effort, I think that people really do appreciate that.
I talked about SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, in a more detailed recent video. We'll link it up here if you're curious. But specific goals will create a solid base in your new language and build your confidence before you show up in a new country. Tip number 3, prioritize reading and listening. In general, building a mix of reading, listening, and speaking skills in your target language is important. For study abroad situations though, you may want to focus on understanding what you see and hear before spending too much time on speaking. You'll need to read signage and documents, and you'll hopefully be putting yourself in situations to hear the language from strangers and new potential friends.
If I didn't know any of the language before going, it would have been very difficult for me to just get around.
The better you can understand the language when you hear it, the quicker you'll be able to develop those speaking skills when you start focusing on them. That mirrors how you learned your first language, right? Babies do a lot of listening before they start talking. Even though adult language learning isn't identical to the process of learning to speak as a child, you can definitely learn a few lessons from that process. If you want a judgment-free place to start practicing, I can definitely recommend Babbel Live classes. New students get 2 free lessons at the link up here. If you're learning French, look for me teaching there every week. But even if you don't go that route, I recommend talking with someone who's done study abroad in the same place you're going. Tip number 4, get feedback. That could be a friend or someone you connect with online. PSA to my Gen Z people, Facebook still does exist, and I think Facebook groups are a great resource to connect with people with shared interests or experiences. Talking with someone who's been through the process can offer some unique advice and can really help. That could be as simple as pointing you towards a bar with friendly locals, letting you know about language meetup events, or sharing some mistakes that they made so that you can avoid repeating them.
Prepping for my trip, I did a lot of courses where we were speaking with other students to try to prep, trying to figure out what's local slang versus more school speak, and so what I needed to know, different terms that I would need to speak.
Embarking on a study abroad program can be exciting and, for some of us, overwhelming. If I could leave you with one takeaway, it's that some language learning is always going to be better than no language learning.
Once you're there and you're picking it up and you're learning how to speak like a local, it really does make a world of difference.
No one will be expecting you to speak perfectly, but the effort will be appreciated, and I guarantee you it'll open up some unique opportunities. Let me know any questions you have in the comments, and thanks for watching.